Hey Siri, what's the weather like today?
Looks like it will be cloudy today.
Hey Siri, turn on the lights.
It looks like you haven't set up any HomeKit accessories.
Okay, hope you get what we are going to do today. So, we are going to do something similar to what we asked Theory, but in the RISC-V SoC and with the flavor of Yocto project that which is the concept of my whole videos. Okay, let's come back to my desk and I will show you the setup. Okay, we have a RISC-V SoC as before. Okay, let's show you in close up. And then we have a power cable, which is kind of connected to the adapter. And then we have a USB-C connector connected to the USB hub. And then here we have a USB, which is connected to the headphone and microphone. There is a Python script running on the system, running on the SoC, and it will listen as soon as I just play this one. It will listen to the microphone, play it back, and then send the data to the OpenAI. The first API is from Whisper. It will convert the speech to the text, and then send this text to the ChatGPT and get some response. Okay, let's try it out. As soon as I press the enter, it will print lots of error and warnings, but all of them can be ignored because it's from the Pi audio from Python. Okay. It will print and then listen to the microphone. Can AI washes the dishes for real? And then send it back to the OpenAI Whisper, convert it to the text. Can AI wash the dishes for real? Pretty accurate. And then right now send this text to the ChatGPT and hear the response. Yes, AI can wash the dishes in some cases. There is a dishwasher on the market that uses the AI to optimize washing cycle and save the water, energy, and etc. Sounds interesting, isn't it? So, the project, it's not really big, but we are trying to cover the most important part of this project, which is the OpenAI core, and I will show you how you can compile the necessary recipes for Yocto project and then create an image, and then definitely we will go to the Python programming as well and then send it to the SoC, and probably we can do some blinking LED. Okay, let's see how the system overviews look like. We have a USB headset. Not necessarily need to be a USB. Anything that Pi Audio can connect would be okay. So for me, USB just work. So we have a microphone and we have a speaker, and then on the Python level, we have a Pi Audio library. So this is library that can connect to the audio port, and then it will communicate to the device. Either it can record the voice from microphone or it can send the data to a speaker. And on the OpenAI part, we have a Whisper. So Whisper from OpenAI is so when we have a Whisper output, it will be a text, a speech to the text. Then we will send the text to the ChatGPT, and ChatGPT responds to that based on its input. Similar to before, the process doesn't actually perform inside the SoC. Instead, the SoC is a kind of relay device or device that just send the data to the cloud OpenAI server, and all the processing will be happen on a server, and the server just responds to us, and then we have out. Let's first have a look on the OpenAI. Okay, you have to go to the OpenAI website, and if you are using the APIs, you have to create an account and provide some billing information. So, but in today's video, I mean, let's go to the product page as well. So as you can see, they have different models for GPT. I mean, the recent one as of today, GPT-4. But for this video, we probably just use the ChatGPT 3. And then, I mean, they also provide Whisper, the speech to text model. So let me show you my account. You have to sign up into the OpenAI website and create an account for yourself. So under the billing information, you have to create a payment method. If you have MasterCard or something, you have to provide for them. And at the end of the month, they charge you according to your usage. We have billing, history, pricing. Pricing would be interesting. For GPT-4, we have pricing in here. We have a chatbot pricing is here. Instruct GPT, embedded image model. For the audio model, we have Whisper, and the price is 6 cents for 10 minutes. I mean, amazing. And what about for GPT that we are going to use? ChatGPT, I mean, GPT 3.5 Turbo. I mean, this one is also very cheap. I mean, it's kind of nothing. Okay, so, and then under the usage limit, you can provide what would be your limit usage. So, and then payment method, we have usage as well in here. So right now you can see I just owe 2 cents. I mean, yeah, that's pretty cheap. And they will charge me at the end of the month. Okay, let's go to the coding part. So first of all, let's have a recipe for ChatGPT and Whisper. So both of them are under the repo name OpenAI. I can show you the repo. OpenAI GitHub. So this is the OpenAI GitHub. We have to go to the OpenAI Python, probably. Is that the same? Pip install, yeah, looks like the same that we wanted. Okay, and all the details in here. So let's see how we can install it using the Yocto project. So we have a set up the PY, so which make the task very easy for us. Okay. Okay. So right now I'm inside my VM machine. I can open a terminal as well. Okay. I'm under the Pocky folder. Okay. As you can see, we have a, remember from the previous time, we have a meta shame, and we can create a new folder, create new folder, and name it RISC-V machine learning. And under the receipt, we have to have another folder, this time call it OpenAI. So under the OpenAI folder, we have to create a file and call it the recipe name that you would like, OpenAI, and then the version number, for example, BB. So here we have to start our recipe. First, you need description would be equal to OpenAI Python library. It can be anything, and then you can set the license would be, you can go to the web page, and from the left hand side you can see the license is MIT, and you have to provide the source URI. It's the GitHub page, so you can start with Git, and easily you can use their website under the code, copy, paste it here, remove the HTTPS from here, and you can add the protocol at the end, protocol, so everybody can easily see it is a GitHub page, and the protocol is HTTPS, and the branch would be, so it's better to use the kind of one of the tag that you would prefer, but right now we can just use the main branch. So the branch is main. Source revision, which commit of the repo. I mean, the latest commit would be okay for us. Otherwise, you have to set the revision hash value in here. But we are going to use auto rev, which is the latest revision. We have the source directory. I mean, this should be downloaded and unpacked into the source work directory, but it would be better to be at the another folder. This is a Git. We can just put it into the Git folder. Remember, we had set up the py, which perform most of the tasks for us, so we can just use the setup tools to compile it. So inherit setup tools, we are using the Python 3, and there is some dependency and runtime dependency. Let's start with dependence. So this package is dependent on Python 3-AIO HTTPS native. These packages should be installed before the OpenAI to be able to install this package. Depends. And then we need Python 3 requests -native as well. We have R dependency, runtime dependency as well. We have to set the package name as well. Put it into the new line. That would be much easier. We need Python 3 AIO HTTPS. We need Python 3 requests. Let's just copy and paste from here. We need Python 3 request toolbelts. We need Python 3 click. We need Python 3 pyjwt. Yeah. You probably wonder where I bring all these dependency. It's better to go to their website and see which packages are dependent. Another easy way is to just run the bitbag and see if it is working correctly. That would be okay. Otherwise, it said this package needs or dependent on another package. So I use the second method. So all you need to use bitbake, and because we are going to just install and set up one packet at a time right now, because we're in the developing process, we can just specify the recipe name, OpenAI, hit enter, and cross his finger to see if it is working. Okay. There's a problem here. This shouldn't be HTTPS. The HTTP is correct. So we have another error as well. So the license checksum missing. Okay. We'll copy this one. So what is license file checksum? Let's go back to the GitHub page. So there is a file in the GitHub Git repository, license, and basically we have to get a hash of this file and set it into the recipe. So in that case, so the bitbag understand that, okay, the license file didn't change, and you actually read that and accept that. So what you can do, you can just open a new terminal. Okay, let's back to the home directory and use git clone this repo doesn't exist. Okay, let's come back here, code, and copy this one. Git clone the repo, cd to the, oh, sorry, the name would be OpenAI, ls. So there's a 5 license. We have to MD5 sum of this file, a copy, and the checksum would be file license MD5 would be equal to license. Yeah. Come back to the previous terminal and just run the bitbag. Let's see if there's any error. No error. Sounds good. So in the meantime, we can go to the next. So right now we have OpenAI installed, and we have to integrate it into the image as well. So as you know, under the build, under the conf, under the local, then go all the way to the down and say which extra package that we need. OpenAI image install append. These packages should be installed on our system. We need Python 3 because the final escape will be run on the Python 3. We need basically OpenAI, the recipe that just created. But the OpenAI needs some another library as well, Python 3-re requests as well. It needs Python 3 AI or HTTP as well, because I mean the request and HTTP is needed for the OpenAI because it read the audio file and then directly send it to the server. So let's add the NumPy as well. Probably somewhere we need that. Python 3-NumPy. Yeah, that's it. So the next step is to create the Python program. So under the ML, we can create another folder and call it, what we can call it? OpenAI example. That would be nice. And under the here, files, and under the files, we need under the OpenAI, we need a file, and we call it OpenAI example. And under the file, we need a Python script, new file, and we call it main.py. Sounds nice. We can start with this Python program, with the recipe. Same as before. I mean, we can just copy and paste something from before. Come back in here. OpenAI library example. Closed would be okay for us. And the rest would be just read a Python program and then insert it into our image. So source RC URI. We have to add the Python program in here. Would be file. So we have a main.py file in here. Sounds nice. And under the do install append, under the task, under the do install task, we have to install this Python program somewhere in the image. Install-d under the D directory. We can install it on the bin directory. That would be okay for you, or somewhere else? I mean, bin would be okay. Bin directory. Otherwise, we have to create some extra folder, and then install-m main.py into this folder. Sounds nice. I mean, that's everything that we need. So here we have the Python program. So instead of using this Visual Studio, I mean, I can develop the Python program in my PC, and those parts that are not compatible with the hardware, we can change it later. I mean, because of this auto completion, I mean, PyCharm would be, I mean, more preferable for me. Let's open up the PyCharm. Okay. Same as before, we have the same main.py. We will just test it in here and then send it back to the image. We need import OpenAI. I mean, auto-completion is the best. Let's look at our overview. So we have to record a voice using the Pi audio and then send it to the Whisper. Can we for now just remove this part and just make the make the video much more easier and understandable. So instead of just recording the voice using the Pi audio, we provide a, for example, MP3 file or WAV file to the Whisper, and then Whisper do the rest for us. So I just ignore this part because it can be the, the purpose of another tutorial for us. So imagine we have a WAV file or MP3 file, and then we have to send it to the Whisper. So we have an audio file, which have to be, for example, a file name audio.wav, for example, and read it at the read only because the Whisper shouldn't change anything. Then we have to pass this audio into the OpenAI transcript. So the result of the Whisper would be saved on the transcript, OpenAI, the audio, the transcript. Okay, and here what we need, the model. So remember that we need Whisper-1 and the input file, which is the audio file. Okay, and easily we can just print transcript dot, I mean, it will provide us a dictionary, and we have to just go to the text. Okay, we can add some data as well. Print OpenAI, for example. And then here the text. For that purpose, OpenAI need a API key as well. So we have to use API, OpenAI that API key. We have to set our key as well. So how you can provide your keys? You have to go to the OpenAI website, API keys. So this is the key that I'm using. You have to create a new key, and then it will be provided for you. You have to copy it into the API key. So I will do that. So we need an audio file as well. So let's create a one. I use a software named Goldwave. Hey Google, open the door. Made it. I mean, it's working. That would be fun. Let's save it. Save. Okay, it's coming here, and all we need is to just hit the run button. Okay, running the main file. Give us some error. What it's called. This should be on top of this line, which is fair. OpenAI, we're at this line, open the wave file, and then send it and receive the data back. Hey Google, open the door. Let's print the transcript as well. Just print transcript instead of just one content of this dictionary. Okay, you see that the transcript is a dictionary, and there's an item text, and inside this text we have the transcript, the content that we need. So that this line would be okay for us. Okay, I can just delete this one. So right now the OpenAI read an audio and send it to the server. So at the next step, I have to send this information into ChatGPT. So that would be also an easy task. We can use response, for example, and it would be OpenAI dot at completion dot create. First, we have to set the model. Model would be GPT 3.5 turbo and equal to 1, and then message just okay. The first role would be system, for example. System. I will come to this info as well. And then we have content. So basically, every time that we are communicating to the chat GPT server, we have to provide the whole conversation to it. So the first role is, for example, the system, which is the chat GPT one, and we have to say some basic information about the system. For example, our system is so you are a home assistant device, similar to Siri and Amazon Alexa. So this is the first info that we are going to the system. The second role would be user, and the content would be the information that we get from the Whisper. So the user just communicate, talk, Whisper translated into the text, and here on the ChatGPT part, we just pass it into the ChatGPT user role. Okay. Just let me create another voice, not just turn on and off a light. Let's delete this one. So what should I say? Are electric cars green? Because in fact, we need to burn fuel to generate the electricity, but at the end, this electricity used by electric cars, so there is carbon footprint. Are the electric cars green? Okay, we will save this one. It should be appear here. Okay, wave one.wave. Let's change its name. Okay, audio one. Then play. Let's see how it will respond. Okay, are electric cars green? Because in fact, we need to burn fuel to generate. I mean, the script is kind of accurate, kind of, but there is no response because I didn't I didn't change the response. Let's just print response. Same as before, we have kind of dictionary, but we have to extract just the message in the next step. Okay, transcript in here, pass it to the ChatGPT. Okay. So under the choice, we have content in here under the message. Electric cars do produce emission indirectly because they rely on something. I mean, kind of very comprehensive response, but just let me print this content. We can say message would be equal to response dot choice choices. Choices is a list, the 0 item, the first item, and then we have message, okay, this is the message part, and then we have content and role assistant, okay, the role is assistant. You have to print message role and message content. Okay. I mean, that's everything. I mean, it's working. We just copy this file and then go back to the VS Code, save it in here, and that's it. Under the file, you saw that we need, I mean, we can add something else in here because it is not kind of complete right now. So what if the person say, for example, hey, Google, turn on the lights. The ChatGPT can just be able to provide some information to you, but not turning on or off something. How we can connect the output of this response to the some action, some result, not just the message. I mean, it's there's no need. I mean, at this point, there's no need to use the ChatGPT for that purpose. If some keywords are inside the text, perform some action. For example, we have a, say, LED underline on list, and this list contain light. It will contain on. Hey, Google, turn on the light. If the sentences contain these two words, basically it should perform some action. If all word in transcript.text for word in LED on. So it checked, so the word will iterate through the list, and if the word is inside this transcript and all of these iteration are correct, perform some task. For example, print LED on, or same as before, remember that we use GPIOD library. Something similar can be done in the Python as well to turn on or off an LED. So we can just we can continue that part in the next video, but GPIO action For example, same can be done for off as well. If there's a light and off in the text, we can turn off the light. For example, we can do the flashing as well. For example, flash the lights, or yeah, and light if both of these words are inside the, okay, sorry, I have to use LED off list as well in here, and LED flash in here. Do some GPIO action. And if none of them are kind of accepted, then pass the information to the ChatGPT. So what can we do? We can just simply say exit, so it won't reach to the next step. And the other thing that we need, we have to add the wave file here as well. Let's change it to the audio wave file. Control C. I will copy my file in here. Okay, I have added the audio file in here as well. So we have to change the recipe as well. So previously we had only the main.py file, but right now we have to add another file. Go to the end, file. This time the file would be audio.wave. Okay, same as before. I mean, we can just easily keep it into the bin directory. But this time, audio.wave. That would be it. We need some another changes as well on the local.conf. We have to append this OpenAI example as well. OpenAI dash example. Save it, and that would be it. Yes, and this time we can just create the whole image. Bitbake, core, image, base. Hit enter. So it couldn't find audio.wave. Audio.wave. There shouldn't be any E in here. Save it and then run it again. Okay, it said no such file or directory. Okay, because we didn't set the source in here. Color, work, dir. Rerun it. Domain.py. There's no E in here. That would be better to add depends as well in here, because OpenAPI example is dependent on the OpenAI. I mean, in fact, I mean, in the real world scenario, because this Python just copy, I mean, this installation just copy and paste this main and audio file into the image. It doesn't hurt anything, but it's better to have this depends on here. Okay, and I have to insert the SD card. So I extract it, and I have to just press the right button. Okay, it's done. I have to remove the SD card and put it into my SBC. Okay, and then, okay, it's running now. Okay, sounds nice. I will log in at root. So we have to check 3 items. First of all, we have to check these main.py and audio.wave are available in user bean. So we can use ls usr bean and then audio or grep audio. Grep audio. Yeah, we have this one. Let's Python file. The main.py file is also available. The third thing is that we already installed the OpenAI, so as a Python package, and it should be accessible through the Python. So we actually inserted the Python 3 as well in the image. So these should be also work. So everything looks nice. You have to use import and then import OpenAI. Well, wait a minute. It is a large library, kind of. Okay, yes, that's it. So let's exit, and we have to just be able to run this Python command. Let's clear a screen. Okay, first we have to cd into user bean, and then Python 3 main.py, and the moment of truth. Let's see if it is working correctly or not. Okay, let's go to the OpenAI, translate it. Hey, Google, turn on the lights and turn on. Yeah, that's perfect. And it can perform some action at this point. And as you can see, if I'm going to the main.py, it's even didn't go through this ChatGPT. If the voice doesn't contain these um, light and on, light and off, or flashing lights, it passed the data into the ChatGPT. I mean, that's pretty interesting. Thank you for watching.